It's an 87th Precinct podcast bonus episode. This is the bonus episode for book 34 in the series, the spooky tome Ghoosts, which we didn't necessarily think a great deal of, but, you know, it's something for everyone. You might like.
It had its moments.
It had its moments.
It did.
Yeah. But we'll do our usual stuff here, mainly about looking at the book covers, and we'll look at our own editions first. And so, for once, we're not actually in the room together because of, you know, the apocalypse and stuff. So I'm gonna explain what my cover is, and then let's see what Morgan and Stevo have got as well.
Oh yeah. Major problem. We're gonna have to self-huff, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
yeah, and we know that Morgan's huffing has always been a bit suspect, hasn't it?
This is true. Very true.
Well, but you know, for the sake of the audience, we'll have to go for it.
I shall do my best.
Yeah, my copy is the first UK paperback edition, the Pan edition, with the McBain gold stripe edition, with a picture of a white wooden house on the front, which is presumably supposed to be the spooky ghost house. So that's what I've got.
There we go.
Snap. How much was yours? £1.25 on the back.
Yeah, £1.25, and not for sale in Canada.
Yeah, so same.
Those unlucky Canadians. Mine is the 1981 Book Club Associates by arrangement with Hamish Hamilton hardback.
Ooh.
So it's like the original hardback, I think, but just smaller, like book club books generally are.
So that the one with a staircase and a ghost on it?
That's the one. Staircase, cobwebs, ghost.
Oh, I can't believe you've got that. We're not able to see it.
Well, I'll just do...
A bit like a ghost.
I'll just do a quick huff of the middle of my book and see how it goes.
Go on.
It's standard for the period. It's quite in good condition. In quite good condition, my book. So yeah, that's all.
Couldn't hear you huff that though. I'm not sure you did.
Hang on, let me try again.
That's more like it.
I must do myself a mischief. Yeah, so that's all right. That's standard, basic for a good book from that period. Who's going next?
Shall I have a go at mine?
Yeah,
I don't have much luck. I mean, it's in very good nick for an old book, actually, so I'm not expecting it to be too fragrant, but let's have a little go. How was that?
Very
that was pretty good.
Big huff, that, capital H.
It's just like a gentle mustiness, but it's not kind of a 40-year-old book kind of smell, really. It's pretty mild.
Ooh, sweet. There's a sweetness to that.
So it's lovely to hear a master at work, isn't it?
Well, there you go, yeah.
Which of those? Remotely, yours probably wins, Steve.
I think so. I'm glad we've honoured the tradition at least.
Yeah.
So should we have a look at the original covers?
Yeah, I've got them up on my little gadget now.
Oh, yeah, I'm having a look.
There's one, I'm looking at one that seems to have Harrison Ford peering through some blue fog.
That is the cover of the original American hardback edition.
Oh, right, okay. Who on earth is that?
I have no idea. It's one that doesn't say it's an 87th Precinct novel on the front.
Yeah, weird.
It's crap.
Not out of 10. Not out of 10 for that one.
Yeah.
Ooh, I do like this. I do like this one though. The next one.
Is this the Hamish Hamilton one?
Yeah.
The actual ghost and the stairs and the cobwebs.
Yeah, look at that. I like the font.
Yeah, and then the actual picture looks a bit like a still from some kind of moderately budgeted kind of BBC TV thing, though, at the time. Like, I don't know, maybe like Dark Towers or something from Look and Read.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's got a bit of that going on.
Worthy on the back. That giant orange thing that used to float around. Talking about the magic E.
Magic E.
Smite into smite, bit into bite.
That's the one.
I don't think they smote anyone.
Fit into fight. Magic E. Something like that, anyway.
Yeah. My favourite was always Dog Detective.
Dog Detective was good.
I thought you were going to say dog into Doge.
Don't.
Again, we've just lost, I think, about 99% of our listenership.
Yeah. No, Look and Read was brilliant. And Dark Towers was the best Look and Read story as well. Yes. So, yeah, that's a good call. It has a certain BBC production quality to it.
Yeah.
Next is American paperback edition.
Oh, that's a bit of a weird one. That is that a dagger on the wall?
It's like it's a candle in front of like a wall, but looks like a sword or something.
Yeah, God knows.
It's a hilt of a sword. It's
a bit peculiar.
0 out of 10 for that as well.
It looks a bit like it's more like the cover of some kind of Swedish black metal album from 1986 than an Ed McBain book.
Yeah,
it's a bit strange.
But it does have the quote on the cover from Stephen King, who describes it as the best 87th Precinct novel of them all.
He's wrong. He's wrong.
Yeah. Well, he's never responded to my tweets, so
it's because he knows he's wrong. He doesn't want to get into an argument about it. He doesn't have a leg to stand on.
Yeah. The last one is the UK paperback edition, which is a house.
Yeah, but it kind of, as covers go, gives you an inkling about what you might be about to read about.
It probably kind of sort of has a little bit of that Amityville-ness about it as well, doesn't it, I guess?
Yeah.
A classic photograph by Colin Thomas on the Pan edition. We're used to those.
Yep.
Yes. So those are the editions of that then. Okay. Well, should we do some music?
Oh, we can do.
It's 1980. So this book actually came out on the 1st of May 1980.
Okay.
And so I've got the top 10 charts from singles charts, and I've also got the best UK albums of the year as well, if you want to have a stab at any of those.
Singles?
Singles or best albums, best-selling UK albums.
Blondie there must have been around in 1980.
Yeah, Blondie, definitely. Call Me is number one in America at this point.
From the American Gigolo soundtrack, is that right, I think?
Oh, I'd take your word for it.
I believe so.
Wow.
It's number 3 in the UK charts as well.
Are we still in kind of ABBA and Boney M territory here, or?
Yeah, there's a bit of that. Super Trooper by ABBA was the biggest selling UK album of 1980. Anyway, have they got anything in the charts at this point, singles-wise? No.
Oh, how I know it's a big seller now, but Back in Black was 1980. Was that selling in enough quantities to...
It wasn't one of the biggest sellers of the year. I suspect it's earned more than enough
cumulative years.
Yeah.
Was The Wall still a biggest seller?
The Wall, 1980. Yeah.
It didn't sell. It wasn't one of the top 10 biggest sellers of the year.
Possibly just still, I guess, counted as one of the biggest sellers in that. And maybe because it wasn't released in 1980, would it not make it that list? I don't know.
Don't know. I mean, Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 was in the American charts anyway. They're there. They've got quite a presence, Pink Floyd, anyway. But
that makes sense.
We've got a Dexys Midnight Runners song as the number 1 single in the UK.
Come on, Eileen.
We're before that, are we?
Yeah, we are.
So, like Gino, or
yeah, Gino. So Gino is number 1 in the UK, just above Coming Up by Paul McCartney, which is a great song.
It's a corker.
Yeah.
Is that the one about the frogs, or?
Sadly
no,
not.
It's not. We'll get there. Don't you worry. I won't take any guff about the frog chorus. It's an exceptional piece of music.
Love it.
Right. Oh, I'll ask you this question. Have you got sexy eyes?
Oh, who was it who did that now?
Someone who I don't think is actually a doctor, Dr. Hook.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Sexy Eyes is in both charts. I'm trying to find the things that are common to both charts here, but there's not masses of them. So let's have a little look down. I'll do a quick rundown. Silver Dream Machine by David Essex.
God.
Toccata by Sky.
Oh, wow.
God.
I don't know who that is.
Sky. John
Williams and Julian Lloyd Webber, I think, was in it as well, possibly.
Oh, I may have blocked it out then.
Herbie Flowers on bass.
Oh, right.
It was mainly John. Yeah, it was mainly John Williams, wasn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
Another guitarist, somebody DeBar or
Oh, probably. I don't even know. But yeah, I'm guessing that would be some kind of like pop classical arrangement of Bach's Toccata and Fugue.
Ah, yes, okay. I think I do know that one anyway. But is it better? Is it better or worse though than the one below it, which is King by UB40?
I don't even know that one. Do I?
No,
I don't think I do.
Yeah, me either.
Oh.
Then we've got Working My Way Back to You by the Detroit Spinners.
Oh, yeah. Cracking.
Good party hit.
Yep.
Sexy Eyes, Talk of the Town by the Pretenders.
Oh, yeah, that's all right.
And then Bobby Thurston insists that we check out the groove.
Oof. No.
That's what's going on in the UK. Mm. Some of the other ones in America are things like Fire Lake by Bob Seger.
Oh, Bob Seger.
Jimmy Ruffin's Holding On to My Love.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay.
What else? And Christopher Cross's Riding Like the Wind.
Oh, yeah, that's a bit of a Radio 2 classic, isn't it? Just like that.
Yeah, there's one called Lost in Love by Air Supply.
Oh, yeah. I don't know the song, but I'm trying to think what their famous one was that might have been a hit here too. Like very drippy soft rock.
Yeah. Billy Preston and Cyrita, whoever that is, as With You I'm Born Again.
Oh, yeah, Cyrita Garrett, yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. And the Eagles have a top 10 hit with I Can't Tell You Why.
Well, it was The Long Run was out in 1980, wasn't it? Or 79.
So, I mean, the albums chart doesn't really reflect that top 10 anyway, not that little snapshot any of it. Apart from, so we've got ABBA at the top of that. Zenyatta Mondata by the Police.
Oh, of course, yeah, they'd be on the ascendant at the time.
Yeah. Greatest hits of Rose Royce.
Wow.
Guilty by Barbra Streisand. Pretenders by Pretenders. Regatta de Blanc by The Police. And the next one is a Roxy Music album.
Manifesto.
No.
Oh, God, what was the one before or after that? Don't tell me. Talk about something else whilst I have a bit of a think.
Okay, well, we move down to Manilow Magic, the best of Barry Manilow.
Wow.
By Barry Manilow. Off the Wall by Michael Jackson.
Oh, of course.
And, a Genesis album as well.
Abacab? No, not that one. Duke. Yeah.
Have you got an answer on Roxy Music yet?
No,
Stephen?
I'm thinking about that because it's not Avalon yet, and they did 3 albums after their hiatus. Manifesto, Avalon. Right, so carry on.
We'll be moving way on from this then if we do that, though.
That's okay.
Well,
there we go.
I'll let you keep. It's a Roxy Music album. So you keep thinking about that, and we'll move on to the top films of 1980. And I think I've seen all but one of the top grossing American films of 1980. Let me know what you think about The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah,
it's a corker. Yep.
Yeah, that's the #1 film of the year.
That makes sense.
9 to 5.
Oh yeah, Dolly Parton and Jane Fonda.
Yeah, another good film. That.
Never seen that.
Oh, it's worth a watch. That it's really good. Stir Crazy at number 3.
Oh yeah,
that's a silly film, but it's not quite as silly as number 4, which is Airplane.
Marvelous.
It's just an absolute phenomenon, that film. Any Which Way You Can.
Oh yeah.
Oh, was that the same year as? Yeah.
Wow.
I thought that was earlier.
Any Which Way You Can is.
Must be something about. I was watching Sudden Death or whatever it's called, one of the later Harry Callahan movies.
Sudden Impact.
Sudden Impact, and there he's been followed around by this dog. It's as though Clint Eastwood demanded that all his films at that point in his career had like strong animal roles.
Kind of animal companion.
He should have just kept the orangutan in every film he was in.
Yeah, that could have been good.
I'd have loved to see a Dirty Harry film with an orangutan just there.
Flesh and Blood, that album.
Yes, that's the album.
Get in there. getting there. And I've not consulted anything. I've remembered that on my own brain.
Okay, that's fine. We can move on now. Private Benjamin is at number 6. Goldie Hawn. Coal Miner's Daughter is number 7. That's not a bad film, biopic. At number 8, the classic Smokey and the Bandit 2.
Oh, right. Okay.
Then at number 9, a film I've not seen, which is The Blue Lagoon.
It's Brooke Shields, is it?
I think so, yeah. Romantic comedy type thing, possibly?
I don't know. I've not seen it either.
Yeah. At number 10, one of my all-time favourite films is The Blues Brothers.
Tremendous.
Right, okay. What about other films in the... that's my list of... Some highlights of other films I've got here, such as The Great Rock and Roll Swindle.
Yeah.
Not seen it.
not actually a great film. I was really excited when I managed to get it on video when I was a kid, and then it's just mainly Malcolm McLaren massaging his ego. It's quite a hard watch, actually.
What is it? A documentary or?
It's bits of documentary, bits of daft sort of fantasy, bits of archive Sex Pistols footage, certain bits of Steve Jones and Paul Cook being made to make records with Ronnie Biggs, the great train robber. It's a bit peculiar.
Blimey.
Ed Tudor Pole singing. Wonderful.
Yeah. An interesting cultural artifact, if nothing else.
Yeah, that's mainly what you can say about it.
I mean, there's some big films like The Shining and The Elephant Man.
Oh, yeah.
Great films both, yep.
Superman 2, which is a very good sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Flash Gordon.
Dum, 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 dum. Yeah.
Dum, dum, dum. Yeah.
Yes, it's good. I've always liked Flash Gordon.
Yeah, that used to be one of those brilliant films you could just come across on a bank holiday and just sit and you'd end up watching all of it.
Yeah, it's on frequently. Brian Blessed and Timothy Dalton.
Yes. It's
Topol.
Good. Yes. But paling into insignificance compared to the greatness that is North Sea Hijack.
Oh, of course, 1980. At the very beginning, when you said, what do I know about 1980? God, yeah. It's escaped me.
It's such a ludicrous film, but it's so good. It's such a good fun film.
I watched Juggernaut the other day. Remember we talking about that? I think I talked about on this podcast as well.
You may well have done.
The one about the bombs on the ocean liner. Richard Harris is a bomb disposal expert. It's out the same school of film as
North Sea Hijacked.
North Sea Hijacked, like aquatic disaster movies, I suppose.
Maritime Calamities.
Yeah, but North Sea Hijack is an absolute rip snorter. It really is.
It is.
A misogynist,
Roger Moore's finest moment.
Cat-loving. Yeah, it's just so strange. Tapestry making. Oh, go watch it, everyone. Although it's called Folks in the America, so...
Yeah, for folks, yeah.
With 2 Fs.
That's brilliant. Everyone should watch it, and we'll just do.
We can do a 40-episode podcast about that, couldn't we?
Yeah, Cigarette Kramer. Let's see. I've got a few other films here as well. The Fog comes out.
Oh yeah.
Popeye, which is a very strange
film. Peculiar one, isn't it? Robert Altman. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite good, but it's just weird. We get both Cannibal and Zombie Holocaust come out.
Right. Okay.
And Dario Argento gives us Inferno, which I've never seen.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that's a bit that's a bit ghostly as well.
How appropriate.
Yeah, it's quite good. It's quite good, Inferno. It's got its moments, but then again, it's fairly ridiculous, as you might imagine.
And Disney give us Herbie Goes Bananas.
Oh right, okay. That's not the one with the witch hunting, is it?
There wasn't many bananas in Norfolk, wherever it was.
Yeah, imagine that, the puritanical residents of East Anglia get attacked with bananas, and they have to enlist the help of a man driving an as yet uninvented German family car around the rutted roads of tracks and greenways of
Yarmouth.
later medieval England.
It's a good pitch.
Oh dear! I bet that was the first draft that they took in the office.
Yeah.
Oh dear me!
Does anybody know whether Cromwell liked bananas?
Right. Anyway, a little bit of TV show history here. Excuse me. There's a couple of good debuts in America. A series called Mystery starts in America, which is an anthology series which basically showed all the British crime and mystery shows. So for a lot of people in America, mystery was where they would have first seen things like Rumpole of the Bailey, the Sherlock Holmes adaptations, Inspector Morse.
Wow.
And it was originally presented by Gene Shalit, then Vincent Price, then Diana Rigg.
Wow.
Okay.
So they had like little linking bits at the start.
Amazing.
Really nice Edward Gorey animation as well to introduce it. And it runs to this day. So anyone who's watching Morse or Endeavour or Lewis or any of that's presented as part of the mystery slot.
Oh, okay.
So that's quite good, isn't it?
That's excellent.
Today on Mystery, a grumpy man in Oxford drinks real ale and makes serious blunders on the way to solving a crime.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yep.
Slightly more dynamic than Inspector Morse is Magnum PI, which starts in 1980. And the American version of Blockbusters, or rather the original version of Blockbusters, the quiz show.
What?
Blockbusters, the quiz show, starts in America before it starts here.
What was it called?
Blockbusters.
I had no idea that was an American format. So I think because our version just seems so English, with all the kind of Bob Holness being Bob Holness and sniggering students going, "Can I have a pea, please, Bob?" etc. You don't really think of that being an American show, but there we go.
Yes, it came as a surprise to me.
Hmm.
Whereas we have some debuts in the UK for such shows as Heidi High.
Oh, right, okay.
Would have loved it if that had been an adaptation of an American show.
Yeah. Which, for anyone who doesn't know Heidi High, it is a sitcom based around the exploits of holiday camp workers in 1950s Britain.
It's a hit.
Yeah, well, it was a hit. It's still being
It was a
repeated
massive hit, yeah. It just doesn't sound very plausibly like a hit, does it, from the description? But
It's,
mildly amusing at best.
Yeah. You have a fat man, you have a thin man. Well, there's the comedy right there.
That's it. The basis of all comedy.
Yeah. What else have we got? We've got a couple of cartoons that we would have been brought up on as kids anyway. King Rollo.
Oh, that's great, that.
Little sideways
He was like
animation.
a Danish king or something, wasn't he?
Essentially, or something like that, isn't it? But I remember more fondly Button Moon.
Oh yeah.
I've seen that live. It's my claim to fame.
That is an excellent claim to fame.
The Bradford Alhambra Theatre.
That's marvellous. That's absolutely marvellous. For anyone who doesn't know Button Moon, it was essentially a sort of 3 or 4 minute kids show, and it was about a wooden spoon who went into space in a tin of baked beans.
He was called Mr. Spoon.
He was called Mr. Spoon, and there was other members of the Spoon family.
And he was made out of a spoon, and that was also his name.
Yeah, and the moon was a button.
Yeah.
Which, even as a child, I was baffled by how they could land on a button, which seemed to change size when they were on it compared to when they were looking at it and landing on it.
Well, that's perspective, isn't it? Scale.
It also has a beautiful theme song, but it's really wistful. It makes me feel quite sad.
Yeah. Do you want me to sing it to you? No.
Yes, please.
After Button Moon.
Anyway, I'll just finish off with, if you were in Scotland, you'd have started, well, I think across the UK, in fact, you'd have started watching Take the High Road.
Oh, yeah.
That was a soap opera, wasn't it? And
Do you always get a bit mixed up with that and Highway?
The religious program with Harry Seacombe.
Yeah. Highway. So what was this soap opera called?
Take the High Road.
Was it about the sort of uneventful life of people in some Scottish village, basically?
essentially, yes. Yeah. In fact, I think the village is on the Balloch in Scotland is not far from the little village where that was filmed, because I was there not long ago.
Do they have any episodes featuring Ghoosts, I wonder? I don't know.
Probably loads. Yeah. It's a very ghostly area. Okay, so I'm not going to linger much longer over this bonus episode because we're just living a very bizarre life at the moment. But we did get a question from our friend Andy on Twitter, at Much Ado About Nil, who did ask us, other than reading and carry on movie marathons, what are we doing to stay sane during this quarantine period? So I don't think I am staying sane. That's the problem.
No, not a lot, really. I don't know. Yeah. I've done quite a lot of household chores. I don't think my house has ever been tidier or cleaner. Well, not that takes very much, actually.
I'm sure the cats have enjoyed you being around all the time.
Well, they have, yeah. Fast asleep at the moment.
Which is what they would be even if you weren't there, so...
Yep.
Yeah, I've not been doing much unusual. I've been doing a little bit of painting of Lord of the Rings miniatures, but I think it's knowing that I'm in now for an unspecified amount of time means I don't want to just do everything all at once.
No.
And so then I start to get a bit fidgety and I can't concentrate on one thing.
Yeah, I've been a bit like that. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I totally get that similar situation here, really. Yeah, I'm not sort of doing anything particularly unusual. I'm just doing sort of more of the things that I'd normally be doing anyway, I guess. Playing the guitar a lot. I'm trying to ration out the Hammer movies box set that I was given for my birthday, so that can get me through quite a long time. I've been very good. I've only watched one so far.
Is that the big box set thing?
It's a fairly big box set. It's got 21 movies in it.
Oh my lord!
So I've only watched Rasputin, the Mad Monk so far, which was great. I've not seen that one before.
No.
I take it that's the horror movies, and you haven't got On the Buses and Mutiny on the Buses.
It's not. It doesn't have the On the Buses movies in, but it's not 100% horror. It's got some more kind of fantasy things in too. So there's She and the sequel to that in there, and a couple of other bits, but mainly horror films. It's good fun, a good little assortment. So. I'll be very gradually kind of working my way through that, I think.
Excellent stuff. Well, I've got Disney Plus, which has just come out, or rather, I've got a spare login off my brother, and with all this history of Disney at my fingertips now, I have watched Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers and Gummy Bears.
There's one of our dinosaurs missing on there. Is it the whole of the Disney output?
Apart from the really, really racist things.
Yeah. And I believe some of them do have racial stereotype warnings on them, which I would imagine would be in place for one of our dinosaurs. Well, but I've not checked to see if it's there, but I'll have a look.
It's, a representation of Chinese people's not the best.
No, it's a little bit difficult to view with modern eyes.
Starring not one single...
Out of all of the history of Disney, I've managed to watch episodes of cartoons that I watched in 1990. That I don't know. I'll get stuck into the other stuff anyway. Watch The Mandalorian, the Star Wars thing. That was good.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing I have done. I bought 10 Fairport Convention albums for £6. This was at the beginning of the lockdown, so I got those classic album things.
Right, because I was going to say I got many Fairport Convention albums for not very much money, but because someone had dropped off their collection in a nearby Oxfam, lots of the 90s and early 2000s stuff.
Oh, might go and get those when it reopens.
No one will be going to the shop at the moment, so they're not going to go anywhere, are they?
Very true. No. There's going to be a few still there, but I've been taking a very deep dive into Fairport Convention as well.
I'm very concerned that I haven't stockpiled Fairport Convention albums in the way that you two have. I
feel like you might have missed a trick there, yeah.
Yeah, I think I should have been panic buying that stuff. Anyway, so we have an as yet undetermined stretch of time of houseboundness ahead of us all. So who knows what we'll get up to. And if anyone out there listening is doing anything interesting or anything relevant to the podcast or anything at all, or you want to chat to us, because it is a very bizarre time, so do feel free to contact us on Twitter or Facebook or anywhere if you just want to chat about things, because social media is now super important, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely. I don't know, people have criticised it in the past for stopping people from sort of conducting normal social interaction, but now it's the only kind of interaction we've got. It is really important, I think. So, yeah.
And maybe they'll start putting interesting stuff on telly to fill up the gaps where all the things that they can't make anymore.
Oh. Telly is absolutely awful at the moment, isn't it?
It's not great.
It's just repeating the same bloody films every single week. I'm sick of it. I have to watch US Marshals again. I tell you, I am not exaggerating if I say that film has been on 20 times in the last year.
Do you know, I've never seen it.
Oh, put your telly on now. It'll be on.
Stevo's watched it 20 times.
That's the one it's the Fugitive sequel, is it?
It is, yeah. The Fugitive's on a lot. And then this is on. Gosh.
It's probably cheaper than The Fugitive, so they can show it more often.
Oh, so, yeah.
God, it's exactly the same film as well. It's just got Wesley Snipes instead of Harrison Ford. Same plot, same... Everything's the same.
Well, there we go. That's the answer to the question that Andrew sent to us. We're just watching US Marshals over and over and over again. And I'm sure you are as well.
It's on every channel all the time.
Not even any news. They replaced it with US Marshals. Oh, excellent stuff. Well, I think we'll finish up on the bonus episode there. Anyway, I know we've just talked about films and stuff and not much McBaining, but weird times call for weird conversations.
This is true.
Yeah. So we will be back with the next book at some point, which is Heat. And I'm going to say ta-ra to everyone. So ta-ra, everyone.
Goodbye.
Fairly well.
Goodbye.